Once again, Middlesex's batsmen failed to shine on the second day of their LV County Championship match with Glamorgan at Lords as the visitors took control. This is the best of the action. Glamorgan began the day on 309 for 9 after a battling performance on the first day, and they lost Hugh Waters in the second over, well caught at short leg, to give Steve Finn his 16th wicket of the season. Mark Wallace was left stranded on a fine 79 as the Welshmen were all out for 315. Middlesex struggled with a bat in their opening defeat to Worcestershire, failing to reach 200 in both innings, so it was important that Scott Newman and Andrew Strauss got them off to a good start. But the wickets once again started to tumble in the sixth over. Newman drove at David Harrison, edged, and was held at the second attempt by Mark Cosgrove. Newman gone for 7, Middlesex 11 for 1. This game was a perfect opportunity to show some April form ahead of a busy international programme for Andrew Strauss, who almost missed this game with a stomach bug. Not part of England's T20 World Cup campaign in the Caribbean, he will get more chances with his county than normal, and looked as if he was going to give them some steel in their batting lineup as he began his innings brightly. He has a lot of young players around him, with O.A. Shah and Owen Morgan playing in the IPL, one of whom is Sam Robson, who was hit on the bat leg plumb in front for a 9-ball duck, giving Harrison a second wicket at 21 for 2. It was another difficult start at the top of the order for Middlesex, but at least the England captain was looking in good touch. He twice failed in his first match of the season in Worcester, but Lords is a ground he feels very comfortable at, and he was looking comfortable here as he and Dawid Malan tried to rescue the innings. Malan had showed some good form at Worcester when wickets were falling around him, and he was looking in decent touch now. That was until he'd reached 17, when he was on the receiving end of a beauty from Jim Allenby, which comprehensively bowled him. Allenby was bowling a good spell, and in his next over, Strauss dragged the ball from him onto his stumps and was out for 44 at 72 for 4. That became 80 for 5 as Adam London was also bowled, this time by Harrison, for 6. 3 overs later, having added 23 for the 6th wicket with John Simpson, Gareth Berg was next to go, another to fall to a full-length delivery from Harrison, who was enjoying the conditions and having a fine day. Another one of Middlesex's young middle-order batsmen, Simpson has a good future ahead, but he needs to be able to bat when the pressure isn't always heaped upon him. He'd made 32 before he was the 7th man out with a score at 141, another to be given out leg before, this time to Dean Koska. Having been bowled out for 126 and 169 in their first game last week, skipper Sean Udall had it all to do to try to improve things. But he was the next man out another leg before, playing across a ball which was shaping away. It was wicket number 3 for Allenby, and it reduced Middlesex to 153 for 8. That became 160 for 9 as Ian O'Brien edged Harrison behind as he finished with figures of 5 for 62, the 7th 5-wicket haul of his career, his first in 4 years. Allenby ended with 4 for 29 as he finished off the innings as Tim Murtagh drove into the gully, Middlesex 160 all out to trail by 155. Jamie Dalrymple, the Glamorgan captain, as Vikram Solanki had done at Worcester last week, decided that with so much time in the match remaining, plus a leg injury to James Harris, that he wouldn't enforce a follow-on, but instead tried to bat his former side out of the game. And so Gareth, Rees and Cosgrove returned to the crease to see off the new ball in whatever manner they could. The more you see of Finn, the better he looks. Alas for Cosgrove, he didn't see him at all and he ducked straight into a short ball, and shortly afterwards he had to retire hurt, feeling dizzy. It was tough going for the batsmen and they had to ride their luck a little bit too. But with the score at 57, Rees failed to fend off a lifting ball from Berg and was caught by Malan for 20. Ben Wright was then plumb in front to a quick ball from O'Brien for 4. And Middlesex were really fighting back when Dalrymple flashed at Berg and was also caught by Malan for a 3rd ball duck. Allenby, fresh from his exploits with the ball, tried to steady the ship, but he too was out as Finn trapped him in front for 15. Glamorgan had slipped to 101 for 4 and things got worse for them as Michael Powell played a loose shot, dragging the ball back onto his stumps after a well-made 47. That meant Wallace returned to the crease for the 2nd time in the day, and he pretty much continued where he'd left off. But Middlesex weren't quite finished yet, and Murtagh had Harris leg before for 2. Glamorgan ended the day on 119 for 6, not quite the position they would have dreamed of after deciding to bat a second time, but with Middlesex's batting woes so far this season, a lead of 274 with 4 wickets still remaining has them in a very handy position indeed.